Another frigid day in downtown Cleveland. It's game 2 between the Royals and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. It was a tough day to hit yesterday. It will be again today. Both teams had all their scoring in the first inning. Danny Duffy gave up 3 in the first, did not allow another run. Ian Kennedy gets a start today, similar to him in his first start, but he only gave up 1 run in the first inning.
That's right, and that's exactly what he wants to do today in Game 2 here in Cleveland. Shut the offense down. Great day to pitch. We talk about the cold. It's not easy to hit. Kennedy knows how to challenge hitters with that fastball. He can do it. And also eat up some innings while you're at it. Now, the bullpen looked good yesterday, so it's not anything about don't get it to the pin. How about get it to the pin to win after 6 strong like he did his last outing?
Royals have struggled to score runs after the first inning, but one guy that has really been a spark for the offense has been their new leadoff man, John Jay.
The Royals and doing a heck of a job. Kia, drive to success. Today we're going to show you John Jay. Look at him. What he's doing, the plate appearance, the hits, the walks, he's doing it. That's what you asked for a leadoff hitter. Just get on base. That's all it takes. Hey, look, John Jay and the Royals will be facing this young man, Trevor Bauer, when we come right back.
have gotten the bats going in the first inning. They scored 8 runs this year in the first, but only 6 after that. It'll be Ian Kennedy on the mound for the Royals, Trevor Bauer for the Indians. The lineups and the first pitch are coming up next. It's not a typo. It is 33 degrees. It helps a little bit that the sun is out, but the wind is picked up. So there's some wind chill involved, which takes us below 30 degrees. So everyone's going to be bundled up, just like Whit Merrifield. And here's the Royals lineup today against right-hander Trevor Bauer. Whit will be in right field today. Lucas Duda will be the designated hitter for a second straight game. Ryan Goins will get his first start as a Royal. He'll be at second base. And the Royals have done a good job of striking first. They have scored 8 runs in the first inning. They have the best batting average in the major leagues in the first inning. They have the second best slugging percentage in the major leagues in the first inning. But in innings 2 through 9, the Royals have only scored 6 runs in their first 5 games. And now they'll go up against Trevor Bauer, 27-year-old right-hander, a 17-game winner last year, HUD, with just under 200 strikeouts.
Yeah, you know what? He's a talented young pitcher, that's for sure. And he loves that fastball and the strikeouts to show it. But look, now he gave up just a couple of runs against the Seattle Mariners. Wasn't his best start, but look, it's early and it's his first start, so got to get some of the kinks out. Look for the heater. Then adjust. He's got a lot of different pitches. Going to mix them up for the most part. But he's going to challenge you. There they are. Look at him. Fastball, curve, slider, change, cutter. He's got a lot of different varieties that he'll use. Come after him.
Got the call on a high curveball from Will Little. And it's 1-2 on John Jay. And we highlighted him a couple of segments ago about how good he's been leading off an inning. His on base percentage leading off an inning is .600. In a very small sample size, but he's been what the Royals had hoped for when they signed him to be a leadoff hitter. 2-2.
Just has a great eye and he's patient. I had a chance to talk to him before the game about his style. I mean, how do you develop that? Have you always been a patient hitter, John Jay? And he goes, well, Rex Hudler, when I started competing playing baseball, that's the name of the game, get on base. And I just figured that if I waited for my pitch and it didn't come, I'd get on base. And so really, if you think about that, keeping it simple, a simple approach, old school approach, that's what he's done. That's what he told me. Defensively, Cleveland Indians, they got a pretty good outfield. Brantley coming off an ankle injury, ankle surgery in the offseason, does a nice job out there. He's got a pretty good throwing arm. Zimmer's got good speed in center field. Alonso, the first baseman, Kipnis at second, Lindor, Jose Ramirez. Roberto Perez getting the start. He can really throw runners out. I saw him yesterday, and he asked if Terrence Gore made the team. He's the only guy who's thrown Terrence Gore out.
Yeah, did it twice.
Yeah.
First 2 times Terrence Gore was thrown out as a major leaguer. Roberto Perez was the catcher. Witt was part of the 2-run first inning yesterday. He had a double and scored a run, and then later in the game he had a single for a 2-hit game. Two balls, 1 strike. It is now 49 consecutive plate appearances for Witt without a strikeout. He hadn't swung and missed at a pitch until yesterday. That ball's hit well to right field, and Chisenhall had to look up into the sun. You wouldn't figure on a day like today with the game time temperature of 33 degrees that the sun would be an issue, but it was for Chisenhall, and he's got one of those hand warmers like a quarterback would have on a cold day out in front of his belt. 2 down. And now Mike Moustakas with 2 down. He was 0 for 3 with an RBI yesterday, and Bauer bends a curveball in for a strike. Bauer won a career high 17 games last year. That was tied for 4th most in the American League. It was really the 2nd highest total on our Toyota League leaders. Jason Vargas, Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco all had 18, and then Trevor Bauer with 2 others had 17, and he had a career high 196 strikeouts. And now Chisenhall in front of the warning track brings it down. So today the Royals do not score in the 1st inning. Ian Kennedy makes his 2nd start when we come back. As the Indians since Terry Francona took over in 2013, and now his team is 3-4. His batting order has 2 changes. Lonnie Chisenhall is in right field today. and Bradley Zimmer in center. So a couple of left-hand bats in there against Ian Kennedy. Those guys were out of the lineup yesterday against Danny Duffy. And Ian Kennedy had a shaky first inning against the White Sox on Saturday, but finished allowing just 1 run in 6 innings. And when he left the game, the Royals had the lead, but the White Sox rallied late to win. And he comes right at Francisco Lindor with a fastball.
One thing the opponents know about Kennedy is he's going to show some fastballs, and I'll say 70%. Mixing some curve, sliders, and change, likes to establish that pitch. And you know, he was excellent his last time out because he put the fastball where he wants it. They call that fastball command. He's able to put it where he wants it, on the corners, up and down, and try to keep it out of thigh range. Thigh high fastballs out over the plate get hit, especially this powerful team.
Right by him again, 1-2. Francisco Lindor in the game yesterday was on with a walk in the first inning, otherwise was 0 for 3 and is batting just 172 in the Indians' first 7 games. He is without an extra base hit or an RBI, and now Kennedy gets him with a hard curveball down, and there's 1 away.
Nicely done. They know he likes the fastball, Kennedy does, but man, when he slows that curve down, look at the arc and that trail there, that nice little yellow trail. 78 degrees, big difference in change of speeds. Royals defense are forward around the horn. John Jade left, Gordon center, Whit Merrifield in right. Whitley talking to him before the game. Hey, is it a problem in right? He says, no problem, Hud. Game of catch and fetch. Go get it. See Moose over there at third base? He's playing in here against the left-handed hitter Kipnis. Not that he's going to bunt, but that's just typically where a third baseman will play the left-handed batter. You see him in tight there. 3 guys on the right side. If he hits it on the ground, those are the tendencies where he'll hit it. He pulls it. Anything in the air, they're shift over. They're a little bit to the opposite field on him.
And Ned Yost admitted last week that he is more open now to using more dramatic shifts. Part of the reason, he said, was just being traditional in thinking. He's not against analytics and being more aggressive defensively, but he was just a traditional thinker. And the Royals have been so good defensively in years past that he really felt like he had the luxury of spreading everyone out equally, because everybody had so much range that he didn't feel good about leaving any part of the infield wide open.
And he also has to appease the pitchers who really aren't thrilled with shifts anyway. So this year, he got together with Mike Jersley and the analytic department from the Royals and said, hey, look, you guys send us down what you think, or where you think our guys should play. We'll play them that way. Just totally give in. Let's see what happens. And it's worked so far. They've saved a couple big runs. Hasn't necessarily equated to wins yet, but it will over time, they hope.
Whit Merrifield's out in right field. I think that's Merrifield out in right field, and he'll make the play for the second out. Reminds me of something that A.J. Hinch did in Houston, and this was before the Astros won the World Series. Prior to A.J. Hinch, the Astros were very cutting edge with their shifts, and as you pointed out, the pitchers didn't like it, because here's a ground ball to the left side that usually is an out. Now there's nobody standing there, and the attitude before A.J. Hinch was tough. This is what we're going to do. Deal with it. So there was some pushback from the pitchers. A.J. Hinch came in and said, brought all the pitchers together and said, look, here's the information. Here's why we're doing this. What do you think? So he involved the pitchers in the discussion. A.J. obviously was going to make the final decision, but now suddenly the pitchers have all this information in front of them, and they go, oh, okay, well, I understand now why everyone's shifting all over the infield.
Yeah, and credit to A.J. Hinch. He has the ability to communicate with his people.
Pulled foul, and it's 2-1 on Ramirez.
That's the most important trait a manager can have, being able to relate to his players. young or old. Explain to them why you're doing it. And let them be involved in some of the decision making too. Makes them feel like they're empowered.
3-1. You tell a pitcher, look, when you face this guy, 75% of the time when he hits a ball on the ground, here's where he's going to hit it. Where do you want the infielder set up?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, I want 3 guys over there if he's going to hit it over there 75% of the time. 3-2 on Ramirez.
That's a big difference in the game.
Jose Ramirez is another all-star player who's off to a slow start. He is 2 out of 26 to begin the season. One of those hits is a 2-run home run. He had an RBI single in the first inning yesterday. The White Sox, after they scored a run off of Kennedy in the first inning on Saturday, they really didn't do much with his fastball at all. They were late on his fastball. Really didn't square that pitch up at all, and it's only the first inning and it's 33 degrees, so keep that in mind. But Ian appears to be having his way with the Indians today with his fastball. Ian had a tough time getting in the strike zone in the first inning on Saturday. He gave up 1 run with a walk, a couple of hits, 36 pitches in that first inning, and then no runs, 3 hits over the next 5, and just 1 walk. And now a changeup, and that disrupted Ramirez's timing, and a pop-up is going to be caught. Alcides Escobar in the overshift brings it down, and no score at the end of 1. Should be where you make it. It's actually a nice crowd here today for 33 degrees at first pitch. Royals will have Lucas Duda, Chesler Cuthbert, and Ryan Goins. Both pitchers retired the side in order in the first inning. The biggest out of the game for the Indians yesterday on the mound was a strikeout for Carlos Carrasco against Duda in the 6th inning. The Royals had the bases loaded with 1 out, and a very borderline pitch was a called 3rd strike and a huge 2nd out of the inning, and Bauer makes the catch. Look at that. A grown man and a big leaguer with a glove on his hand makes the catch on an infield pop-up.
A pitcher. Never seen it, especially with all of the air underneath that pop-up off of Duda's bat. Wow. Usually the first or third baseman will handle that with no problem. Little bit of sun issue there for the first baseman on that side, but hey, Bauer took it himself.
Cuthbert takes high for ball 1. Chesler was 0 for 4 yesterday, and that ball's hit well to right field. Chisenhall is back. He's looking into the sun and makes a play. Chesler's had some bad luck. I was just going to say, after the big strikeout for Carrasco against Duda in the 6th inning yesterday, Chesler came up and hit a rocket to left field, but into the wind on a cold day, and it was caught by Brantley, and now he lines out to right against Bauer.
That's 2 nice line drives to the opposite field by right-handed bats, Merrifield, Cuthbert. That's good. Let the ball travel, let it get deep towards the catcher's glove. Use that whole field. And if there is going to be any help from the wind today here at Progressive, it'll be to right field.
Ball 1 to Ryan Goins. Ryan has just 1 at bat so far. That was as a pinch hitter a week ago against Chicago, so he gets his first start. He'll be at second base. The Royals saw him often at that position when he was playing for the Blue Jays.
Goins 2 for 8 with a homer off of Bauer.
Ramirez is over in foul ground, and Trevor Bauer has set down the first 6 Royals he has faced today.
Down on the field, gotta have those heaters. And how are players coping with this cold weather? Well, guys, I talked to Drew Butera, and he said, I'm not. It's really difficult. There's no solution. He said that yesterday in the first inning, he had a glove underneath his catching mitt to see if that could help, but he just didn't have a good feel for it. So he said every pitch just hurt. And he showed me on his hand, the palm of his hand by the bone, it's black and blue just from catching the ball yesterday. And Alex Gordon said, you know, finally, the sun is out today. It's going to be better. Then he came out for batting practice, turned right back around and said, it's a little colder than I thought. I need more layers. He said, I can't wait to get back to Kauffman Stadium. 50 degrees is going to feel amazing. When you got a guy like Alex from Nebraska saying it's cold, it's cold.
Brantley lines out to John Jay in left field.
Joel, is the cold taking your breath away? What have you been doing? What, have you been reading a book? What's going on down there?
I need one of those masks. I need one of those masks like Cuthbert and Witt. Then you fit in really good. By the way, I did hear that it's like 26 at Target Field, so we got it pretty good.
Here's Edwin Encarnacion. As Joel was talking, he's kind of put into perspective how cold it's been. The average temperature has been 41 degrees at first pitch. And as Joel said, it's not just here. I mean, it's everywhere. It was 30 degrees when the Royals were out on the field. And I say in quotations, warming up. It's hard to warm up on a day like today.
Well, no swing. I had a chance to talk with our 25-year groundskeeper, Brandon Kanke, before the game today about the conditions of the field and how do you do it with so many days below freezing, and it froze last night. So field doesn't thaw until after 11 o'clock or so they got a few hours to get it ready. He said that the freeze really affects the dirt.
1-2 pitch is lined into center field. Encarnacion is on with one out.
Sure, it's hard on the grass. The grass is not going to grow, but the dirt, when it freezes, it raises up. So to keep all the bad hops off the infield, he constantly has to roll it all the time. He's got one of those rollers that you see that for pavement, you know, that you see putting down roads. And he has his own in his underneath his shin there. And he says it's been interesting this year. It's been so cold, but the field looks good. Haven't had any complaints from the players.
Yonder Alonso with a runner at first and one out. The Royals play him to pull it on the ground, but they play him to all fields in the outfield. Alonso was 0 for 4 yesterday, but he had a couple of tough outs. He lined to center and then flied to the warning track in center field. There were a lot of swings yesterday that will have completely different results once the weather warms up. A lot of line drives that just died in the cold air.
Yeah, you know, nice to see the Royals out there taking batting practice, though. At least they're hitting in these conditions. With all the off days they've had, they really need to get some timing in. They need to swing the bats. They took, you know, infield practice today before the batting practice started. The outfielders threw the bases. That's good to see. Typically wouldn't see that in a day as cold as it is.
Still 1-2 on Alonso. Kennedy goes with the short sleeves in the cold weather.
At least he's got his elbows covered. Duffy didn't have them covered at all. And we go ahead and we watched him. He'd sit in the dugout yesterday and wouldn't put a coat on.
Good breaking ball. So Kennedy has struck out 2. Both have been with curveballs. 2 down.
Fastballs to start, get them all set on it, and then you throw them off balance. It's a beautiful pattern so far for Kennedy. It's been effective with the changeup and the hooks.
Rajai Davis is going to bat for Chisenhall. Lonnie Chisenhall on defense handled 3 fly balls to right field in the first 2 innings and doesn't even stay into bat. So Davis will come into the game. He was 1 for 3 with a double yesterday.
Starting and stopping are the 2 problems that players have, position players have in this cold. A couple of line drives hit by the Royals to right field. He had to really get on his horse and take off after, and so you just never know what the issue could be. But muscles don't work as well at this degrees in this temperature.
Well, Davis certainly wasn't out of the lineup because he struggled against Kennedy in the past. So that was just Terry Francona wanting to get a couple more left-hand bats in there. But here you go from Chisenhall, who had success against Kennedy in the past, to Davis, who's had even more success against Kennedy. Merrifield to the line, and it's into the second row.
Hey, Royals fans, it's not too late to become a 2018 season ticket holder. Remember? Choose from several packages tailored to fit your busy schedule. All season ticket members will receive an exclusive Salvador Perez bobblehead along with tons of other benefits. Visit Royals.com/STM for more details.
Let's see if Kennedy goes back to that breaking ball. And he does, and it's fouled away. Davis, we were telling you yesterday, he, not Francisco Lindor, not Jason Kipnis, not Michael Brantley, he got the loudest ovation during the pregame introductions during the Indians home opener. And a salute to his home run in Game 7 a couple of years ago against the Cubs. Kennedy with a fastball strikes him out. So Ian has 2 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts. The big story, and it's a huge story in Southern California. Shohei Ohtani hits a long home run into the rock pile in center field in Anaheim. So he's homered in 3 straight games after struggling badly both on the mound and at the plate in spring training for the Angels. He also has a win in his first major league start. And that leads to our sprint trivia question for today, as Alcides Escobar takes a fastball for a strike. 2 rookies last year hit home runs in 5 consecutive games. Who were they? Well, there's one obvious, at least for me. Was Aaron Judge one of them? He was not. Three pitches, and down goes Escobar, and Bauer, who struck out 196 last year, has his first today.
There it is, the big hook. Stay away from that. obviously guessing fastball the whole way. And that's a straight, they call that a bender. I mean, that is a yellow hammer. And the fact that the tracer on there is yellow, that really fits it.
Proves your point.
That's right. Ball players will tell you that's what they call it. And I found out, you know, a long time ago, they say the hammer, you know, where it has the part where you pull the nail out, you know, the backside. Oh, gosh.
Man.
Are you kidding?
What a play by Ramirez.
That is so quick. That exit velo had to be 100 plus, and he picked that even with the bag on the grass with no problem. It was a backhand pick. Phenomenal. Look at this, Alex. Too bad. That's the best ball he's hit all year. Short hop was not a backhand. He picked it clean. Oh, right at him. That is just bonehead luck. Too bad. Anyway, that's that hook. Finish up the yellow hammer. The yellow hammer, you know, the back part where you pull the nail out.
Right.
That's the arc of the hammer that they say that term comes from. That type of.
The back of the hammer.
The back of the
not
hammer.
the front of the hammer.
Right.
Okay. Well, Bauer's got a good one. 75 of his strikeouts last year were on the curve. That was the third most in the league, and he throws it a lot, or at least a lot compared to his other big league seasons. About 1 every 3 pitches is a curveball, so he has a lot of confidence in that pitch. Whether he needs to flip it up there for a strike or put a little extra bite on it and go for a strikeout. 2-2 on Drew Butera.
And the more of those you see, the better are you will get to hit it, because you got to see it up. When the release point lets go of the breaking ball, it starts eye high, it's going to be good to hit. If it starts out around your letter high or belt high, it's going to be a ball. So the more of those you see, the more you can lay off in the dirt.
That'll be backing out of play, still 2-2.
Drew's feeling good. He hit a couple of really nice balls in the opposite field yesterday. He says, I'm feeling good, just haven't had any luck.
Another curveball.
So you'd really try not to even swing at that pitch until you get 2 strikes on you. And then you got to really pick it up. Make sure you don't swing at the one in the dirt. That's the one he wants you to swing at.
Three and 2. John Jay is on deck. So we just told you that Bauer throws that pitch about 1 every 3, his breaking ball, but he's thrown about 4 in a row to Drew and almost got him on the chin with a fastball, and Drew is on with 2 outs. That is a dangerous pitch following a series of curveballs, because a curveball is going to start up and in and then break into the strike zone. So the hitter's thinking, I really got to hang in there. Well, here comes one that's up and in. And the hitter's first reaction is to hang in there. And sometimes by the time they figure out it's a fastball, it's too late.
Yeah, that ball was by him before he even went down.
Lifted to center field. Bradley Zimmer waits for it. And that's the inning. The Royals get their first base runner. But at the end of 2.5, no score. Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers.
So far in this game, Ian Kennedy's done a great job of keeping him off balance. They all know he's 70% fastballs. So once he gets him with 2 strikes, he drops the hammer. He's used the curveball. He's used the straight changeup right here very effectively. Look at how the back hips and the legs are off balance. That's the whole key to getting a hitter out. Keep him off balance. Kennedy, so far, so good.
Here's Roberto Perez. So he gets the start in place of Yan Gomes, who was 0 for 3 yesterday. He is 0 for 7. Bradley Zimmer, left-hand batter, is on deck, and then the top of the order in Francisco Lindor. One and one.
Ian Kennedy, so far in this start in two innings here so far, looks the same as he did last year at this time. Totally on balance, very good mechanics, follow throughs nice, everything's good. Look at this, first 5 starts last year, that ERA really fantastic, 2.30. Okay, the hamstring threw everything off. If Kennedy could stay healthy, he's going to be a solid contributor from that mound in the starting position this year. He's a bulldog. He's tough.
Perez is out, 1 down. And now Bradley Zimmer in his second big league season. Our sprint trivia question: 2 rookies last year hit home runs in 5 consecutive games. Was Bradley Zimmer one of those?
No, but the kid from Colorado had a rock concert going on. A Story kid, he's got to be one of them. Trevor Story?
Incorrect.
No.
Told.
Maybe at some point, maybe it wasn't heard.
1 American League player and 1 National League player.
It was the shortstop from the Rockies, I thought he was not a rookie.
That was 2 years ago when he hit all those home runs.
Okay.
Zimmer is on with 1 out. Maybe we could change the trivia question. Let's go back 2 seasons ago. What rookies hit home runs in 5 consecutive games? 1 National Leaguer, 1 American League. Good question. Lindor struck out on a curveball in the first inning. The first hint from Kevin Cedergren, our producer, was think both coasts.
Bellinger.
Good guess. No.
Thank you.
Correct. Heck of a guess.
Thank you.
How about Mitch Haniger for Seattle? No. But we're in the right division, American League West.
Okay, how about the first baseman for the Oakland A's? I think it was
Ryan Healy, who's now with the Mariners.
No, it's another big left-handed. I can't think of his name.
Yonder Alonso?
No.
Mark McGuire? Changeup, and Lindor wanted to bunt. That would have been a pretty good pitch to bunt on.
When you're not going good and you can run, that's not a bad idea, but that's a beauty right there. Good spot.
spot again. Look at that. The Royals had a few pitches in key spots yesterday go against them in locations like that, in the very outer edges of the strike zone. 1-2 on Lindor. Don't cheat, Hud.
No. I guessed him. That's right. Holtz gave me permission to look up his name. I don't know his name, but he said it's right.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah. The Oakland player I'm thinking about.
So wait a minute. If you were on a trivia show on TV and you say, I can't think of his name, but I know who it is.
Yeah.
Hang on, Alex. Can I Google his name real quick? I don't think so.
Technically, I got it right, but I just can't pull up the guy's name. Dang it. He's new. He's in the league. Hey, look at there.
Alex, I'll take American history for $500. And then he gives the answer, and you have to answer in a question.
Okay.
Who is, dang it, I can't think of his name, but hang on, I'm going to look it up.
All right, but I know it's the right one.
It's on the Oakland A's, a rookie on the Oakland A's.
Okay, I'll get some help. Zimmer's leaning. He wanted to steal.
Two and two on Lindor. He's a heck of an athlete. Bradley Zimmer is a big man who plays like a little speedster.
Yeah, he's had as many as 33 steals in Akron in 2016. He can run. 6'5", 220. You're right.
Lindor fouls it away. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Indians have a good looking left-handed hitter, and had to send him down to AAA because this kid Zimmer beat him out.
Goins gets the lead runner. No double play. 2 down and a runner at first. And now Kennedy will get Jason Kipnis. Kipnis flied out to right field in the first inning.
You can't help me with that Oakland A's player. That he's big guy. Great swing. Dangerous. But since you mentioned it, you know, they had Alonso there at first base, and they had the other kid there too. That's why they traded him to Seattle for this young man here. Is DH mainly last year.
Kipnis fouls a fastball away. Kipnis played in just 90 games last year. He was on the disabled list 3 different times. He had shoulder problems early in the year. He had hamstring problems late in the year. And then when he came back from the disabled list, the Indians starting center fielder Bradley Zimmer was out with a broken hand, and Kipnis played in center field in September and in the playoffs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The other guy in the National League play on the Nationals.
Phillies.
Okay.
Hit a ton of home runs. Usually got called up. I think he had a major league record for number of home runs that he had in a short period of time after being called up. Breaking a record I recall was first set by Joe DiMaggio for a rookie that came up August 1st or later. Not today. Alex calls up John Jay, and that's the inning. We've played 3, and we have no score in Cleveland. Well, Hud had somebody in mind. He couldn't think of his name, but he's come up with it.
Yeah, Matt Olson.
Matt Olson for the A's. Rhys Hoskins for the Phillies. And it was actually a record that he broke that Ted Williams held, not Joe DiMaggio. Rhys Hoskins had 18 home runs in his first 34 games. And that was a major league record for a rookie that did not make a debut until after August 1st. 9 home runs in his first 12 games, 11 in his first 14 games, and 18 in his first 34 games.
Man, like he had a book on the pitching when he got here.
Witt lined out to right field in the first inning. Bauer really likes his curveball today. He's thrown a lot to the Royals. It is 0-2. Moustakas is on deck, then Duda. The only base runner for the Royals in the first 3 innings was a 2-out walk to Butera in the 3rd. And now the pitcher has the advantage of the shadows. That looked more like a slider than a breaking ball. And Bauer has struck out his second.
Wow. Well, Whitley, he is human after all. It's his first strikeout of the year.
Moustakas flied to right in the first inning. Sound like he broke his bat, and Alonso makes a diving play on the right side. The first base umpire, Ted Barrett, ruled that that would have been a fair ball, and if he's right, and Alonso took extra bases away from Moustakas.
Sure did. Can't buy a hit.
And now 2 down to Lucas Duda. Duda popped out to Bauer in the second inning. A high pop-up right near the edge of the grass and the dirt cutout around home. And at the time, the sun was right in the catcher's face, Perez, and the third baseman's face, Ramirez. So Bauer was there. He had the best look at it and made the catch. Otherwise, it's like a cardinal sin if a pitcher is allowed to catch a pop-up.
Look at those shadows. My, oh my, it's difficult. Really hard, but there's no shadows to hit, but you know, throw in those, and you know, 4 o'clock starts at any ballpark, so it's what it's going to do. There was cloud cover yesterday, that's why there didn't see any shadows. Makes it a lot harder for a hitter.
He went around. So Bauer has struck out 3. No score. Day in Cleveland. Cheer on everyone's favorite Gold Glover Alex Gordon in his reserved fan section, Gordo Nation. Every Thursday home game tickets are just $35. It includes your seat in left field, a Gordo big head, and an exclusive premium Gordo Nation shirt. Royals.com/theme tickets. And we've got a Gordo Nation coming up this Thursday. Royals next homestand begins on Monday. Seattle will be in town for 3. And then Shohei Ohtani and the Angels will be in town for a 4-game series beginning on Gordo Nation on Thursday. Right now, Ohtani is scheduled to pitch a week from tomorrow at Kauffman Stadium. Fouled away by Ramirez.
That should be good. And they're a much improved team offensively too.
Two and two on Ramirez. He popped a short in the first inning. Michael Brantley will be next, followed by Edwin Encarnacion. That's about the only thing Ramirez could have done with that pitch. It was up and in and out of the strike zone. Kennedy has given up a couple of singles in his first 3 innings and has struck out 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Good spot for the changeup. I thought that might be coming after that high inside fastball. Just couldn't get it where he wanted to. Careful with the heater. Stay away from him.
you bring up all the time, talking about good hitters. He is not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Yep.
And this guy was one of the best in the major leagues last year, hitting with 2 strikes. Goins at second went down to a knee. The ball came up on him, but he's got time to throw out Ramirez. 1 out. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head to head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays from 8:30 to 11 Central, only on FS1. Is that the Undisputed theme song?
Might be.
Brantley's late on a fastball.
I interviewed Shannon Sharp one year in the Super Bowl when I was working for Good Morning America. And he couldn't understand why baseball needed 7 games to see who the best team was when the Super Bowl just won. He was on his media day perch, the big platform. I had to tell him, look, baseball, we make more money because we have more games. He wasn't sure what to say on that one. But good guy. Well spoken.
Good comeback, Hud. Nothing wins a conversation better than finishing by saying, well, I just make more money than you do.
We make more money than you football players. By the way, how's your union working out? I dropped on him there too.
Great spot. And Will Little, the home plate umpire, got a second look at it. And I don't know if Brantley is more upset by the call or the fact that Will Little didn't call it a strike right away, but according to the strike zone, that was in there.
Yep, high strike, and that's a good spot for Kennedy. Belt high fastballs, they don't do much with them. It's the thigh high fastballs that sometimes don't touch them up. And good spot.
And he got the call on that one, and now Encarnacion not so sure. He singled to center field in the second inning. He had been 0 for his last 13 before that base hit. Kennedy was already giving the Indians a bad time with his fastball before the shadows. Now he has the added advantage of pitching from the bright sunlight into the shadows.
It's getting ahead of hitters. That's the main thing. And in order to be successful against Kennedy, you've got to look for his fastball, and then with 2 strikes, try to adjust to anything else. But Drew's calling for a high heater.
Didn't quite get it up enough, and Encarnacion was all over. So he was down 1-2 in the second inning and singled, and now down 0-2 in the fourth. Is on with a base hit.
Yep, way too good. I mean, that is center cut. Good thing he kept it in the ballpark.
Now, I haven't seen a lot of minor league baseball, and there are many differences between minor league baseball and major league baseball as far as talent goes. But I think, and I hear this from pitchers when they first get to the big leagues, is that big league hitters, the good big league hitters, no matter what the count is, if you make a mistake with their pitch, they are always ready for it. Alonso lines it right to Witt in right field, and that's the inning. So the 2-out single is harmless. Good pitching so far on a cold day. No score. score at the end of 4. The Indians have the only 3 hits. And it's easy to fall into, well, on a day like today, the pitcher has the advantage, and that's true. Although watching the way Bauer and Kennedy have pitched today, I think they'd be pitching well if this was a hot summer day. Both of them have all their pitches working for the most part, and pitching with good location. Bauer has struck out 3. He has retired 12 of 13 to begin the day. He's 1-1 with Cuthbert. Chesler lined out to right field in the 2nd inning.
Not going to do much on that big breaker, but you just try to find a heater that's down the middle. Wait him out. There was one that was up.
Davis out in right field makes the play. 1 down. Ryan Goins comes up, and we go to Joel.
Our first extended look at Ryan in a Royals uniform with the start here today. So had a chance to talk to him and get to know him a little bit better today. He grew up in Texas, but unlike so many of the great players from Houston and Dallas who he played against in tournaments in high school, he grew up in the Austin area, an area known much more for football players. He's the only kid to ever come out of his high school and play Major League Baseball, but an athletic family. His dad played at the same college he went on to, Dallas Baptist, coached Ryan as a kid throughout his childhood, and then his uncle Tim Goins was a catcher in the minor leagues for the Padres from '91 to '94. Ryan always played shortstop until he got to the big leagues, was drafted 4th round by the Toronto Blue Jays. Said that he grew up a Rangers fan. They used to go on vacations to Arlington and they'd make it a full day, go to Six Flags and then batting practice, and then watch the Rangers. His favorite players growing up, A-Rod and Ken Griffey Jr.
Bauer strikes him out for his 4th of the day. Goins is 0 for 2, and Ryan had some career highs last year with the Blue Jays. At bats, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, and even after that, the Royals were able to get him on a minor league contract. He spent parts of 6 seasons with the Blue Jays, 5 seasons. Escobar got a hanging breaking ball, and that's the Royals' first hit. Esky's on with 2 outs, and to add to Joel's point, Joel brought up that he went to Dallas Baptist, which also produced Ben Zobrist.
Nice. Escobar, that's textbook on how you hit that hook. Wait till it comes down and just go with it. Try to pull it. The top hand rolls, you hit ground balls and pop them up, but that way you keep that bottom hand inside of that curve ball and shoot it to right. That's textbook.
0-1 on Alex.
Take a look at this swing right here. Okay, look, just see it first, picks it up. Now look at him reach out. So hold it right there for me. Look at that. Look at his head. Now he's reaching out, but his eyes and head's right on there. He backs down off of that ball. Beautiful job. Going with it.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The best defensive play of the game, in my opinion. There's been a couple for the Indians, but Alex grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd, and Ramirez, who was playing in, made a nice stop to his glove side on a short hop. There goes Escobar. The pitch is up and in. The throw is wild and ends up in right center field. I don't see that happen very often. Usually when the throw is wild from the catcher, it goes into center, but that one got away from Perez on a cold day, and Escobar goes to 3rd.
Nice idea. Escobar trying to get into scoring position with 2 outs. Ball luckily didn't hit him. He's able to advance. Now let's see if Alex can get Bauer to bounce one of those curveballs up there and kick left to right and steal a run here with a wild pitch. He hadn't bounced too many of them. Alex could get him in with a base hit. Right idea. Now Alex, he's 4 for 18 in his career off of Bauer. One of those home runs I remember. He sent Bauer to the shower with a tremendous bomb here at this ballpark.
Is that the one that landed in the concourse?
Yes. It was like heads up. over there in the concession area.
No swing.
Just any kind of an infield doinker, anything right here to help Kennedy. That's going to be another low-scoring affair.
This is the first time all game, and we're in the 5th inning, that either team has batted with a runner in scoring position. Alex is on with a walk. That's Bauer's second.
Right man, right spot. Like Drew Butera here. The reason is he shorts up, chokes up on his bat. He's looking to put the ball in play and find a hole. That's the way he is.
He was on with Bauer's first walk. That was with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Bauer almost hit him on the face with a fastball for ball 4.
Drew's 3 for 12. And he's could have had a lot of other base hits. Hit the ball hard right at people. 4 or 5 I could count.
Strike with a fastball that appeared to be a little bit outside.
And although that's the one you got to be looking on for Bauer. That first pitch, because you know what? Opponents are hitting 492 on first pitches from Bauer this year. Or excuse me, that was last year.
Now Alex runs. It's 0-2 on Butera, but he has 2 runners in scoring position.
Gotta like that. They're going to give it to you. Take it.
Drew chokes up a little bit higher on the bat. One and 2.
So when you tell yourself you're just going to try to put the bat on the ball, it's amazing how much more success you can do. And then when you try to juice it, put a little extra on it, want to pull your shoulder, throw those hips. When you put a little extra pressure on wanting to hit it harder, just go with it.
2 and 2.
And when a pitcher gets ahead of you and you have a good breaking ball like that, that's all you're going to see. He's going to try to get you to expand your zone and swing out of the strike zone.
Perez looks up at Drew as he puts the sign down to make sure Drew doesn't peek in. And the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2.
Yeah, he's nibbling. He's trying to get Drew to swing in a bad pitch. First base is open. I'm sure that, you know, anything close here. You can't get called out looking, that's for sure. Jay's coming up on deck.
Got the call, and Butera can't believe it. That pitch started way outside. And again, the Indians come up with a huge pitch with runners in scoring position in this series.
pitch sequence. 94, okay, curveball. Now, way out, he's trying to get him. He's got 2 strikes on him. He's trying to get him to Fish. Fish ain't biting. And now right here, that should have not been biting. But
there's no way that's a strike.
He rung him up. Look, it's way out of the grid and down. And, you know, Drew's got an argument here. Now, when he let go of it, it looked way outside. But the 2-seam movement caught the corner. And, you know, I want to say, you know, it's too close to take, but that ball looked like a ball.
So far outside. I mean, look at the other side of that HUD. What if Drew swings and misses at that pitch?
Yeah.
You might say, gosh, why is he swinging at that?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, that's a heck of an at-bat to come back from 0-2 just to get to that spot, and then you take ball 4 down and away. And now Drew has to work with Will Little after screaming at him after the strikeout. Now he's hoping that Will Little will be as generous with his pitcher. Funny, I had a conversation about this with Drew last year. And who knows, maybe Drew said a little something right there to break the tension. But I asked Drew, first the 0-2 to Davis. He can run, so it's not an easy play for Goins, who flips it with his glove to get the speedy Davis. The Indians may challenge. Davis thought he was safe, and he's still standing at first base.
Yeah, an old check swing like that, sometimes when you get fooled, that works, especially can run like Davis. And then Goins had to really have confidence in the webbing of his glove that ball's going to come out straight and true, and it did. Now he's called out, Davis, and he's still standing at first base, and they want to go over it.
So they will challenge. So I'll just finish the thought. And I said, Drew, what do you do when an umpire makes what you think is a bad call on you as a hitter, and you argue with the guy, and then you got to turn around and be the catcher with that home plate umpire? And he said, you know, it's harder when you're a backup catcher, because, you know, if Salvi was healthy right now, Drew is in there because the Royals want to give Salvi the day off. So he said he had to be extra careful because he gets thrown out of the game. Well, now you got to get Salvi in the game, and the whole point was to give him the day off. So you have to compartmentalize and just say, all right, it's over with, now we have to move on. And it appears he's already done that with Will Little. That's a tough one right there, Hud. What do you think?
Well, since it looks like it's a tie,
glove,
you got to stay with the call that's made on the field. My opinion, he's out. Stay with the call. Ted Barrett was right. Davis can run. Hope that this call stays the same. If you're a Royals fan.
And I don't blame Terry Francona for challenging here. We're going to find out what they saw in New York. He's out. So does the call stand? I'll bet that'll be the call, not confirmed, because it's hard to see one way or the other. But I can understand the challenge. I mean, normally you wouldn't challenge unless you're pretty sure that the runner was safe. But it's been tough going today to get a base runner and to move the runners along. So that's a good gamble if you're Terry Francona to get Davis on with his speed to begin the inning.
That's right. Good move. Excellent play by Goins.
Roberto Perez flied out to center field in the third inning. One and one. Two balls and one strike on Perez. 2-2.
Take home a piece of Royals history with an exclusive Municipal Stadium replica giveaway on Saturday, April 14th, presented by Price Chopper and Pepsi. The first 20,000 fans through the gates will receive the item before the Royals take on the Angels at 6:15. Check it out. Nice little Muni replica there.
I think it's predictable that Drew Butera held that out there a little bit longer for Will Little and didn't get the call. 3-2 on Perez. And now Drew is keeping an eye on Perez to make sure he doesn't peek at the sign, and it's fouled back. When Drew was up in the top of the inning, it was Perez staring at Drew's eyes to make sure he wasn't sneaking a peek on the signs he was given to Bauer, and now Drew's making sure that the Indians catcher isn't looking back.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's for that, but I mean, you know, they know if they peek, they're going to get a rip ball, most likely. But lots of times catchers will look at your feet, they'll look at your, you know, your face. They look at where you're standing, trying to figure out what pitch you're looking for, as well. You learn that. Of course, a lot of these players don't spend a lot of time in the minors, but if you spend any time at all in the minors, and you learn what happens when you peek or you try to give signs away, you know, they police yourself. Nice pitch by Kenley. Good job. Way to change speeds there.
Ian has struck out 5.
Let's go back and take a look at that nice play that Goins made at second base. Statcast to show you he had to really come and get it. Davis can fly, so can Goins, but just a one transfer, leather to leather, without the hand, did the job.
Bradley Zimmer single to right in the 3rd inning. Played on a fastball, 0-2. Another key to Kennedy's success today, getting ahead of the hitters. He has faced 18 and thrown strike 1 to 14 of the 18. 1-2 on Zimmer.
Yeah, most of the time you ask a pitcher what's his best pitch, he'll tell you strike 1.
He was not picking up Kennedy's fastball. Ian has struck out 6 in 5 scoreless innings, and at the end of 5, no score. has allowed no runs, 1 hit in his 5. Bauer has walked 2. And the Royals will have the top of the order in our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Debbie Brown from Parkville. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Debbie wins $600. If it's a grand slam out of the park, Debbie wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. Cam Gallagher, remember last year, had that Sonic Slam in Oakland. I remember a Sonic Slam in this ballpark. Matt Stairs, many years ago, won somebody $25,000 right here in Cleveland. John Jay has grounded out to second, and he has flied out to center field. A little bit high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slowly hit to second. Kipnis has time, and there is 1 out.
Trust your gut. Pick the right player and get the 1 step closer to winning. $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. How about Beat the Indians? 1 swing. Pick out a heater and drive it out of here. Bender, hanger.
Lindor is over from short, and there are 2 down. Mike Moustakas has flied to right and lined to first on a diving play by Alonso, which would have resulted in extra bases for Moustakas. Bauer pitched well against the Royals last year. We mentioned his 17 overall wins. His ERA was under 3 against the Royals. He did have 1 loss, and it was a very memorable game right here. The Royals beat Trevor Bauer on September the 15th to end the Indians' American League record 22-game winning streak. Bauer was asked after the game, have you ever lost a game like that before to end such a long streak? And you think, I mean, how's that possible? I mean, 22 games. And Bauer said yes. He was the losing pitcher for his college, UCLA, back in 2010 that also ended a 22-game winning streak. So it seemed like a silly question, ended up being a really good question. Moustakas swings and misses. Perez goes down to Alonso, and that's the inning. Bauer has struck out 6. Probably a much warmer day inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're freezing here. It's no score. the 6th inning. Nice pitching to Amani.
Yeah,
Let's begin with Ian Kennedy.
Yeah, you don't see these very often. They've got to be very impressed with what Kennedy's done really in both of his starts, and it's been kind of the same situation for him in his first start as well as today. Really commanding the fastball well, setting up those off pitches, getting the strikeout with the changeup, getting the strikeout with the curveball. Really like what we're seeing from Ian.
Now look at how tough we are, huh? 33 degrees at first pitch. Look at us. Just our dress shirts on.
Not a coat.
Ah. That's because only for that shot from center field we have opened the window. Now, Mike, our stage manager, Mike, let's shut that window now. Let's go.
One flip of the switch.
One flip of the switch back there. And
let's hope it's not broken.
Go ahead, Mike. Bring that. There you go. See that?
Getting warmer already.
And in about 15 seconds, it's going to be mid-May here in the booth.
Monty, way to go. Way to bring us a little bit of fresh air. Uh-oh.
Alex is back, and that's over his head. And that's the first extra base hit of the season for Francisco Lindor. It is just the 4th hit for the Indians all day, and it's the first time they've had a runner in scoring position against Ian Kennedy.
You could tell on contact that ball was hit well. Sounded good, and with the slice he had on it, it was going away from the center fielder, Alex Gordon. That's a perfect pitch to hit that way. I mean, it was down in the lower part of the strike zone, but a really nice swing.
Our Kubota Power Stats, and if you've been a Royals fan the last 3 years, this will come as no surprise to you what Francisco Lindor has done against the Royals. He has the most home runs by 7 against KC and the most RBIs against the Royals than any other team, as Kipnis tried to get him over to 3rd and he punts it foul.
There you go. Cold weather, close game, close score. We saw it yesterday when Ned Yost bunted Merrifield to get the 2 runners over, the tying and go ahead runs. And now right here, Francona's thinking, you know what, 1 run could win this game, so let's just sacrifice him here. I don't know if he will in this one. Might just do it 1 try and get him over, but he looks like he's giving himself up again.
And he punts it foul again.
And if you're going to try to do that, you got to get the ball down. Now he's 0-2. He's not going to be bunting. So now he wants to at least pull the ball to the right side to get him. You don't see bunting anymore hardly at all in this game. But when it's cold like this, it's not conducive to hitting, huh, Monty?
Well, there's probably not going to be a lot of crooked numbers in this ball game, so try to get a runner on the board when you can and take advantage of it, and hope you're pitching and maybe your bullpen makes that run stand.
Still 1-2 on Kipnis. Kennedy's next pitch will be number 90. At the moment, nobody is warming up, but those guys know the situation, so everybody is standing. Some to get in the sun and warm up, others anticipating a phone call from the dugout. Still 1-2.
If you're one of those guys who's been sitting out in the bullpen for the last hour and a half or so, waiting for action, your hope is that when you get the call to go into a game, you only have to warm up 1 time. You want to get hot, take that into the game and carry it through as long as it's going to be out there.
And, you know, they might have one of those heaters in there that blow the flame. But look, unless you're sitting right near it, the other guys at the end, they're not going to feel the effects of that. So it's just a really cold day. Yes. Good spot. Heater away. That's exactly what you want to do. Don't give him anything in. It makes it easier for him to pull that ball over after the leadoff double. Now he's got it out.
Yeah, I really like the way he's been able to climb the ladder effectively. He's dotted really on the up and in to the lefties, up and away to the lefties with that fastball. Really tough pitch to handle.
Yeah, and really he tried to pull it because he's trying to do his job. But if he had to do it over again, he might just want to slap that to left. It's tough to pull a high fastball like that away from you.
strike on Ramirez, who is 0 for 2. Late on a fastball. There have been very few good swings against Kennedy's fastball today.
Yeah, his fastball's been outstanding. I just, again, like the way he's able to effectively pitch to both sides and up in the strike zone effectively with that. I think this is a situation where you got to be really careful, because this guy has done so much damage against the Royals. Even though you're ahead in the count, you can't really be too aggressive on going after him.
Yeah, you know what?
Lindor goes to third base. And are the Royals arguing that
it was timeout?
Time had been called?
Well, anyway, Lindor, he was off of the base 10 feet, and he just went in between pitches. And he took off and caught him with the element of surprise. Moustakas was over. Watch him now. He already has his premeditated in his mind. And with his kind of speed, you have to be perfect with the throw. So we got him over. Now the infield, that's going to force him to come in. Excellent heads-up play there, and a steal in a game like this.
It looked like Drew Butera tried to call timeout. I don't know if he got the timeout called before Lindor attempted the steal.
Said he got back on the rubber. Could read his lips. Because once you get back on the rubber, time's out.
And he was getting the sign from Drew, so yes, he was on the rubber, but you can almost see where.
Okay, yeah, there he is.
Drew, you'll see his arms maybe go up there, not in time.
Yeah, they did, Monty. Good call, yeah. And that's just a heads-up play right there. You gotta love that. Lindor, he's already measured it up. He's already thought about it. Now it's good Kennedy stepped off right there. Okay, now Lindor, look at him. He's looking around, and he's able to get a big lead. He knew Moustakas was way off the base. Perfect time to go. Now let's concentrate here.
That will not stay in play. So that was Will Little reading his lips. You know, he got back on the rubber again. So timeout is called until the pitcher puts his foot back on the rubber. And give credit to Lindor for two things. Number one, paying attention to what was going on defense and knowing the rule and waiting until Kennedy put his foot on the rubber.
No doubt about that.
Kennedy almost made the pitch to get out of it.
Last year, you could make a really strong case that Jose Ramirez was the best hitter in the major leagues with 2 strikes. We brought up a couple of innings ago that he is one of the best with 2 strikes. But look at that OPS with 2 strikes, best in the major leagues. And within that, the highest slugging percentage with 2 strikes. And again, Indians having a tough time with a fastball. That's about as hittable a fastball as you're going to get. I mean, that was right down the middle with 2 strikes, and Ramirez was late.
You definitely can tell the cold is affecting these hitters, all of them, both sides. Because typically in this situation, Ramirez, an aggressive hitter, would have already put the ball in play somewhere. It's just not working. See if Kennedy can take advantage. He's trying to get him to pop it up. If you throw him an off-speed pitch, Monty, afraid that might speed his bat up and may be able to get that barrel there and put it in play firmly.
Well, his game all day has been really put guys away out of the strike zone with his off pitch. He hasn't thrown a lot of off pitches for strikes, and I agree. The best chance to get him out is to really kind of keep with what's been working. That's been his fastball.
Go the breaking ball. Wow. 2-2. Man, right where they wanted it.
That put the lower part of the grid.
Now again, it's where the ball crosses the front of the plate, not where it ends up in the catcher's glove.
Great spot. Set up a high heater.
Struck him out with a changeup. And that was the pitch that Ian Kennedy lost last year with his hamstring injury. The pitch was basically just taken away from him last year.
Yeah, we're going to see a pitch sequence here with Kennedy versus Ramirez. He's going to see he's going to stay hard up, mostly away. When he's going to get in a situation he can put him away, I think if you're going to throw the off pitch, it's got to finish out of the zone. Sure enough, that was just pinpoint location with that.
So it's Brantley with a runner at third and 2 down. Kennedy goes right after him. Brantley has lined to left, and he is struck out looking. Lindor opened the inning with a double, and then with 1 out, he stole third. Jammed him. 0-2. And who knows, maybe Brantley doesn't swing at that pitch. If he hadn't been called out on that pitch in the 4th inning, remember he wasn't happy on a pitch that was up and in with a fastball. So Kennedy's at 100 pitches. Boyer is warmed up and ready to go in the bullpen. Let me rephrase that. He is loosened up and ready to go in the bullpen.
At least he's been throwing and ready to go.
I'm going to say anybody is warmed up today. Right center field, and Gordon takes charge, and that's the inning. So Kennedy gets around the leadoff double and the stolen base. Still no score at the end of 6. The end of the day for Ian Kennedy, and he's had a heck of a day. Pizza Ranch will show us his 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts against 8 different hitters. The only Indian who didn't strike out against Kennedy today was Edwin Encarnacion, who's got a couple of singles. So 6 innings, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, and only 1 runner in scoring position. Lucas Duda lines it deep to right, gone. 1-0 Royals in the 7th inning, and that is just the 2nd home run hit by the Royals this year, both off the bat of Lucas Duda.
That's how you pick out a heater and drive it. Monty, that had topspin on it. That ball was tattered and battered and left the yard in 1.2 seconds. Swung on, gone.
Even in a situation like this, the cold weather, oftentimes games are decided by one swing of the bat. That could be the case here.
We sure hope so. Man, was that nice. Short and quick and no doubter. So I hope I didn't bruise your shoulder, Monty. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you didn't knock me over.
Yeah, no, but I could tell the minute that ball was scalding.
Ryan would not have appreciated that.
Well, he did the same thing to me in Detroit. Who was it? We were talking about Soler, remember? And
going deep to center field.
Yep,
There was no park that could contain it.
he took a rip on a ball in line into center, and next thing I knew, HUD was in my lap. And it was an out.
That was a shot. And when I say scalded on a cold afternoon, that's exactly what it was. Freezing afternoon.
Chesler is lined to right twice. He bounces it back to Bauer. One out. Let's see the StatCast stats for Duda.
408 feet. I like the launch angle.
See that?
That's awesome.
Man, Monty, you know, that shows you the yellow chaser, but that's a blue darter right there.
Ryan Goins with one out. Curveball hangs high. Ryan is fouled to third and struck out, making his first start as a Royal today, playing at second base with Merrifields in right. 2-0. Two and one. Two balls, two strikes on Goins. That's Bauer's first home run allowed in 11 innings this year. Just made contact, and it's still 2-2. If the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City MLB Urban Youth Academy. And now Goins hits it into right center field. Zimmer's over there to cut it off. Zimmer slips, and Goins will hold with a one-out single. That's his first hit as a member of the Royals.
Huddy's got an average now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Not easy to do, too. You ride the pine for 9, come out and get your one start when it's 32 degrees. Made himself a knock on a hook, too, no less. Look at that. Didn't quite break. It stayed up in the zone. Good read on Goins' part.
Escobar took a little peek there at the third baseman Ramirez, so he might be thinking about laying one down. Curveball's in for a strike. Esky single to right and stole his first base in the 5th inning. He is 1 for 2. And now he's taking a peek at third base coach Mike Jershely, see if there's a play on. Esky handles the bat well. Goins runs well at first. And there he goes. And Escobar swung and missed. There was contact at home plate. So Escobar is out with the strikeout, and Goins has to go back to first.
Did he get hit by the throw? Because it was another errant throw by Perez, and Escobar, you know, when he went to swing at that, ball was out. Obviously the hit and run was on. You see how he kind of gets in the way, but at least stayed down low. And Perez is going to complain, and Will Little saw it.
And Escobar's argument was, hey man, look, I'm trying to swing at a hit and run. It's hard for me. Well, was there contact there?
Yeah, it was interference, and he's out. Yeah, I thought he might have got hit. You know, you could see by where the ball bounced how squarely it hit him.
It looked like he hit him in the elbow as well.
That ball bounced right back to the first baseman.
Gordon is grounded out to third. He is walked and he has a stolen base today. Here's the 90th pitch from Bauer. 1-1. Lucas Duda homered leading off the 7th inning, and the Royals lead 1-0. Right to Zimmer in center field, and that's the inning. Stretch time in Cleveland. Lucas Duda gives the Royals a 1-0 lead. Thank you, Monty. With both 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. T-shirt Tuesdays are back with our first giveaway on Tuesday, April 24th, presented by Miller Lite. The first 20,000 fans through the gates, 21 or older, can sport their Royals pride with a 1969 expansion team throwback T-shirt. You can see all of this year's designs at royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday. Blaine Boyer will get the 7th inning with a 1-0 lead and get Encarnacion, Alonso, and Davis.
Quality strikes down in the zone. Veteran pitcher, sinker, slider. 90 to 93, 94 miles an hour. Been around.
Drilled to left field, but not hit hard enough, and especially on a cold day. So that got some fans out of their seats with that swing and that trajectory. But Encarnacion is out number 1. Royals bullpen had a bad time in the Chicago series, but in their last 3 games, the Royals bullpen has given up just 1 run in 7 1/3 innings.
So going with Blaine Boyer in the 7th inning. See if he can hit those spots right there is where you want him.
Alonso is struck out and lined to right. Good hard breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Very nice slider. First two pitches to Alonso have been pinpoint, right where he wants it, lower part of the zone. He's firm. He's a guy that's just not afraid. He's knows how to throw strikes. Sometimes too good. At least early on, they've been too good.
Line foul. Boyer's been around for a long time. His first major league season was 13 years ago. He has pitched 5 seasons with the Braves, 1 with the Cardinals, 2 with the Diamondbacks, 1 with the Mets. He spent a little bit of time at Omaha in 2013 in the Royals organization. He finished that year in Japan. And then he's pitched for the Padres, Twins, Brewers, and last year with the Red Sox. So if this was the old days and you traveled with one of those metal trunks, you know,
yeah,
he'd have a lot of stickers on that trunk.
He would, and that's character. That's what that develops, and a fearless. Really, he's got a big character, and also, like you said, he's happy-go-lucky guy, but you know he wants to get this job done. Good friends with Ian Kennedy. Both have been around a long time, and this is a good spot for him to hold this inning down for his buddy, who just pitched a fantastic game.
Just foul.
You know, and I got to talk to him when he was in Minnesota. I went and was in their locker room one day, and I wanted to know about I saw where he missed some time, and he said, you know what, I stepped away from the game for a little while in his career in 2012. He said he's got his real estate license, and he went into the financial world, and he said, you know what, I just needed a break from baseball, and he took his break, and then he said, you know what, I got a lot left in my arm, I think I'll come back. Had a young family and decided that you only got so many years in baseball, you might as well do it while you're young. So good for him.
And if you're lucky and you do that, maybe you've got a year or 2 after that.
Yeah,
but
it's unusual for a guy to do that.
This would be his 6th year since doing that. Great off-speed pitch to Alonso, and now 2 down in the 7th inning.
Let's check it out. That's the key. Every guy, especially out of the pen, got to get ahead. Then you've got to finish him off with a breaking ball out of the zone, make him reach for it. Well done. Hey, Royals fans, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. It's presented by T-Mobile.
That's a called strike on Rajai Davis. He is 0 for 2.
There's the streamer.
Just don't want him running on the field and streaming. It's been a while since I've seen a streamer run onto the field during the game.
No, I've never seen a streamer run on the field, but I've seen a few of the streakers. But they don't. That's kind of out now, I think. Hopefully.
Davis goes into right field. So he's on with 2 down.
Davis, he knows on a cold day all you do is just try to put the bat on the ball, stay short to the ball, and that was it. Ball was 3-4 inches on the outer half of the plate, off the plate. Good swing.
Roberto Perez has flied to center and struck out swinging. The Indians have had 1 runner in scoring position all day. And that 1 runner in scoring position was last inning. It was a leadoff double. But then Kennedy struck out Kipnis. Lindor stole third. So they had a runner at third with 1 out. And then Kennedy struck out Ramirez. and got Brantley to fly out to center field. And that's really the only scoring chance the Indians had against Kennedy. Davis started to go and stopped. And it's ball one inside on Perez.
He can run. Told you yesterday that he's stolen at least 25 bases 9 times in his career. And it was a practice jump is what he did just now, and it was a good one. If he'd have kept going, it would have been close. But you steal off of the pitcher. Boyer knows to get the balls home as quickly as possible.
Good spot, 1-1. And the last guy to be complaining about the strike zone should be Roberto Perez. And I don't think he's complaining. He's just clarifying with home plate umpire Will Little. But with the gear on today, Perez has had quite a few go his way. Now Davis is running. The pitch is outside, and the throw is going to end up in center field, and Davis will go to third. So a stolen base and an error on Butera.
Yep, explosive takeoff. Check him out. He's at full speed. Once he turns his hips, he's ready to go, and then he can read that with no problem. And then watch him as he rounds third base. He's keeping his eye on the ball because the ball's in play. He's an attack vessel type of base runner. That's what you do. When that's part of your game, you never take your eye off the ball. Watch him. He's going to hit the bag here, and he's going to turn around and see if he can pick up the ball because it's still in play. If he gets kicked around, he's going to score. Boyer, take care of the hitter yourself.
2-2. Goins is playing right behind second base and Boyer, trying to take the middle away from Perez. Three and two.
Same spot he rung Drew Butera up on.
Three and two with left-hand hitting Bradley Zimmer on deck. Didn't get the call.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand that. Now, Butera, good job of not getting kicked out of this game. If all you got to do is turn around and say, hey, look, one of those pitches was a strike. Boyer was saying, ring him up. Come on. That pitch was worse than that he rung Drew Butera up with runners at second and third earlier in the game when the Royals had a chance to get some runs. Like all you want's both sides, both ways.
So first and third for Zimmer. Caught at first by Cuthbert. A shot off the bat of Bradley Zimmer, and Cuthbert was in the perfect spot. So the Indians strand two, and at the end of 7, after that play, the Royals still lead 1-0. to sum up today. Good pitching. Ian Kennedy with 6 scoreless innings and 8 strikeouts. Trevor Bauer has given up 1 run in 7 innings, and that right there is the 1 run. Lucas Duda leading off the top of the 7th inning with his 2nd home run, and the Royals lead 1-0 to the 8th inning, and Bauer is going to stay out there. They'll get Butera, Jay, and Merrifield in the 8th.
Well, you love how Lucas Duda went up there looking for first pitch fastball. I said earlier, last year Bauer gave up a .492 average on first pitches, and then that's a pitch where most pitchers are trying to get strike 1. So be ready for it. Drew, he got him a fastball, first pitch, strike 1 with runners at 2nd and 3rd in his last time up, and he took it. There you go. Start taking a swing at that.
Drew is 0 for 2 with a walk today. The Indians have a very good bullpen. Lowest bullpen ERA in the major leagues last year, and they have a healthy bullpen. The only reliever that's out right now would be Ryan Merritt on the disabled list with a left knee sprain. Our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. A strike on John Jay. Yesterday, Terry Francona used 3 relievers to get through the 7th, 8th, and 9th. After Carlos Carrasco gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. And now Tyler Olson gets ready as Bauer throws his 94th pitch. And it's 1-2 on John Jay. He is 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs and a fly out to center field. Sharply hit, but right to Ramirez at 3rd in the dirt, and it's pulled out by Alonso. 2 down. Witt is 0 for 3 today. Fastball, and Bauer runs it up there at 93. It appears that Justin Grimm is going to get the bottom of the 8th inning in at least a 1-run game, and the Indians will have the top of the order. Breaking ball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Back with 77 miles an hour. 1-2 on Witt. No swing. We like to show you from time to time how a pitcher does first time, second time, third time through the order, and in today's baseball it's very rare when you're talking about 4th time through the order. Strike over the outside at 95. That was his 100th pitch. 95 miles an hour. To the bottom of the 8th, the Royals lead 1-0. Well, with that shot, it looks like a nice day in Cleveland. The sun is out, but it is cold. It was 33 degrees at first pitch today. So not much offense. Good pitching on both sides. Ian Kennedy for the Royals, Trevor Bauer for the Indians. Blaine Boyer pitched a scoreless seventh, and Ned Yost hands the ball to Justin Grimm in our Chevy call to the bullpen for the eighth.
Okay. Ned trying to get the back end of the bullpen situated here, going with Grimm again in the eighth inning. He's got the qualifications to do it. He's got experience on a world championship team, Cubs, and he's got the weapons. Good hard fastball, nice yacker, overhand curve. See if he can hold the spot. Get a hold here.
Grimm will get the top of the Indians order. Lindor, Kipnis, and Ramirez. Line to right field. Lindor is on with a leadoff single. He had a leadoff double back in the sixth inning and got to third with one out, but Kennedy worked around that. And that's just the second time all day that the Indians have had their leadoff man on. Let's go to Joel.
Well, Justin Grimm has at least a little bit of a Royals connection from childhood. As a 10-year-old, he was playing in a Little League game and got a glimpse of the local hero, went up and got that guy's autograph. That was in Bristol, Virginia, former Royals first-round draft pick Jimmy Gobble, who had just been signed by the Royals. Justin met him, and later on, as a freshman on the junior varsity basketball team, Gobble was Grimm's coach. Years later, he called him this offseason just last month to say, I signed with the Royals.
Gosh, that makes me feel old. I still think of Jimmy Gobble as a young player, and now Jimmy Gobble's old enough to inspire Justin Grimm to be a big leaguer, and Grimm's been around for a while. Kipnis hits it to left field. John Jay is back and makes a running play onto the warning track.
What a nice jump. John Jay got on that line shot by Kipnis. That was a beauty. If you turn the wrong way or you take a wrong route on that, that's off the glove and extra bases, and likely will score Lindor from first. As Lindor went and touched second base, retouched and went back to the bag, Grimm says, thank you. Okay, they're sitting on Grimm's fastball. Two-pitch mix, occasional change. And he wants to go, Lindor, over there at first base. He was leaning on that pitch. Wants to try to get in scoring position.
There he goes. Throw down to second. Right on the money. Drew Butera guns down Lindor. And now there are two down with nobody on.
Fantastic throw. Right on the money, honey. If you do one good thing in a big league game, you've had a good game. Look at this. There it is for Drew. Didn't get it a big hit. There's Grimm. Pumped again. Second outstanding defensive play behind Grimm in this inning, and that was perfect.
1-1 on Ramirez. That looked like a swing. It was. Roberto Ortiz is the third base umpire, and now it's 1-2.
That's how tough this game is. One good thing to help your team win a game. You've had a good one.
On the ground, Goins is there, and Grimm, with the help of his defense, faces only 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Royals still lead 1-0. crowded seats right behind the netting and enjoying a 1-0 Royals lead with Moustakas, Duda, and Cuthbert coming up in the ninth.
Parents, sign your kids up for Slugger's Blue Crew to get your little ones geared up for baseball season this year. Membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, flat bill snapback cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. Membership is just $30. Sign up now at royals.com/Blue Crew. Get those compression sleeves. That's important you have those. Keeps the muscles all compressed, nice on the arms. Makes the kids look like they got big muscles.
I was more impressed with how you just went right through the flat bill snapback cap. It's hard to say.
With a high school diploma. Think about it.
Moustakas with a smash on the ground. Alonso takes it to the bag. Moustakas is 0 for 4. That against Tyler Olson. The Royals first 3 of 4 batters coming up in this inning. Bat left-handed, so an inning made for Olson after Trevor Bauer went 8 and gave up the Lucas Duda home run, and that's it.
Olson's not going to overpower you, but he's pretty good with that yacker there. You see that big breaker? He's going to pull it out on those left-handed batters. 88 to 93. Fastball, slider, curve, and a change. He'll cut the fastball. Pretty good movement on it.
Oh and 2.
Let's go back and show you some of that spectacular Royals defense. John Jay in left field. One of the reasons they picked him up is he's versatile and he can flat out play. What a perfect route he took on that. That was extra bases. Might have saved the game for the Royals. Then Drew Butera, man, he pulled out a cannon and just gunned down Lindor with a good jump, by the way. Look at that. That ball tailed right into the first base side of the second base bag. That's exactly where a fielder wants it. So all he has to do, apply the tag.
2 down. One of the stats we showed you on Butera down to second base is pop time.
From the time it pops his glove when he receives it to the time he pops the glove at second base, whoever catches it, that's what they call that. And man, you get it there quick like that, you're going to throw out every single runner. Now it always have to be perfect, but that time they did. Guys are really working hard for Ian Kennedy. The Royals are a lot better than 1 and 4 in the first week.
Herrera will face Brantley, Encarnacion, and Alonso. That's over the screen.
Here they have an interesting screen. You know, it covers all the people. Nobody gets a foul ball and pop-ups, and several balls don't make it to the playing field. Here at Progressive.
Still 2 and 2. Olson pitched well last year for the Indians. He appeared in 30 games and did not allow a run over 20 innings. He strikes out 2 in a scoreless top of the ninth. Kelvin Herrera is trying to protect his second 1-run lead on this trip.
by the Chile Royals dugout as the boys in blue trying to hold on for the 1-0 win. Coming up on Boulevard Royals Live, Jeff Montgomery joins me. A striking performance from Ian Kennedy. Back-to-back great starts for him. Plus, Duda does it again. Will it be enough to hold up? We'll get Monty's analysis here from Ned Yost, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan, I see one guy in the bleachers without a shirt on. He's crazy.
He's probably had an adult beverage or 9 today. Kelvin Herrera has not allowed a run in his first 3 games. And for the second time on this trip, he is trying to protect a 1-0 game. Did the same on Tuesday in Detroit. And he'll get the Indians 4, 5, and 6 hitters.
Sure hope he can keep it this way here. This has been a fantastic game by the Royals. They desperately need a W. And they've performed well enough to get one, but you got to get through the 3 of their best hitters right here. And Herrera loves that fastball, and these guys do too. So you got to be able to place it, put it in the right spot. And that's what he's been using a lot of here this year. He's not going to his secondary pitches as often. He's got a changeup and slider to go with it. And that mid to upper 90s fastball he possesses is really a pitch in the cold weather that hitters do not want to miss. If you miss hit it, your hands will go numb.
Alex runs over into left center field. 1 out. Brantley is 0 for 4. A little bit of interesting history tied into what the Royals are trying to accomplish today. Do you know that before this year, only 2 teams in the history of baseball won their first 2 games 1-0? The 1913 Phillies and the 1943 Reds. Now the Giants have already done it this year. Their first 2 wins were 1-0 against the Dodgers. Fouled away by Encarnacion. That surprises me. I mean,
yeah.
I figured all those years where pitching dominated the game and then playing in cold weather just like today, but Royals trying to accomplish something very rare. Fooled badly. I think Encarnacion decided to swing before Herrera threw that pitch, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, and I think that they've gotten the scouting report on Herrera with the majority fastballs he's throwing, so they're just gearing up on that heater. And nice to see him pull out a slider.
Struck him out. 2 down.
So far this season, we're seeing a much more confident Herrera. And when you have his stuff, why wouldn't you be comfortable? This ball was just blown right by him. You couldn't hit that with a bow door. That's a great spot for a heater in the mid-90s. You can't touch it. That's down low and paint all over it.
Kennedy went 6. Boyer 1. Grimm 1. And now Herrera has 2 outs in the 9th inning, facing Yonder Alonso. Fouled away 98 miles an hour. Changeup is low. Another changeup. So back-to-back changeups. Butera and Herrera figured that Alonso would put a fastball swing on Herrera's pitch after a changeup, and they were 1 step ahead of him. Grounded up the middle. Escobar with the overshift is there, and Kennedy, Boyer, Grimm, and Herrera combined on a 6-hit shutout, and that is save number 2 for Herrera.
El Toro! Ole! Take that. That's some outstanding pitching today by the Royals, and 1 timely homer. Believe it. Just 3 hits overall by the Royals, but that guy, Lucas Duda, wow, what a swing. Nice and easy, Went up there on Trevor Bauer, who was throwing complete missiles up there today and had a great game himself, but he's going to be the loser. Timely hit. Herrera wasted no time at all to close that down. Ian Kennedy went skiing. He was awesome today.
Kennedy had 6 shutout innings, so he has allowed 1 run in his first 12 innings this year. And the Royals bullpen, after getting knocked around during the Royals White Sox series, the Royals pen has given up just 1 run in the last 10 1/3 innings.
Huge win for Ned Yost and the guys. The way they did it. Yeah, great defense too. Sorry, Rhino.
Yeah, big play in the 8th inning. You go back to Francisco Lindor getting on with a leadoff single, and then Kipnis lines one over John Jay's head, but John Jay outran that ball. Otherwise, you have runners at 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. So that defensive play was huge. Royals win it 1-0. Let's go down to the field.